Well, Twitter sure has shown us that they have a quick trigger finger when it comes to censoring conservatives. But when progressives began hurling a racial slur at GOP Senator Tim Scott, the tech giant decided to let it trend for like 11 hours before taking action. The onslaught of hate came after Tim Scott argued in a rebuttal to Biden that America is not a racist country. What a concept. Which might explain why Twitter let the bigoted rhetoric slide for so long. Here now is Vernon Jones, a former Democrat who is now running for governor of Georgia. And good luck to Georgia. It sounds fabulous. But you are running, sir, as a Republican. Welcome aboard, and thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. I'm here with friends with the Evans family here in Cartersville, Georgia, which is a great community. And, you know, we have all these folks in Georgia that looking forward to this upcoming election. I want to say that. And you know, Georgia is a red state, not a blue state, and Brian Kemp caved into the left, just like a lot of the others have caved into the left. And you mentioned something earlier about what's happening to Senator Tim Scott. He's a great American. And when he said that he didn't think there was racism here, I guess he erred a little bit. Why? Because there is racism. If it were not, then the Democrats would not be calling him a coon and all those other names. So the real racism and the bigotry is in the Democratic Party that's led by none other than who? Joe Crow Biden. And let's be clear about one thing. Liberals are horrified by myself and Tim and other African Americans who are independent, who don't want to be on that plantation. And this is a tactic to destroy them and to run them back on the plantation. But listen, that dog won't hunt. We're here to stay. We want to save America. We want to put America first. We support the legacy of Donald Trump. And we're going to continue to take this fight to the left. I'm not afraid of Stacey Abrams like Governor Brian O'Kemp is. They can't play that race card on me. They're the racists, and you know that, Tammy, and we're going to take the fight directly to them.
Well, that's very exciting. Obviously, it takes, you know, a lot of us, we talk about how to make a difference, and then there are those of you who stand up and put yourself in front. But it is especially as minorities. A lot of people don't know I'm a gay woman. And there's a dynamic where whether you're a black or a gay or a woman, there is this presumption that you are owned by a certain section of politics and that if you do not conform, you will be punished. It is obscene. It is what we fought a civil war over to escape, to get out of. And this is it's very powerful for Americans to see and everyone to see, especially as minorities who are affected first by economic change, who benefit from it most when it's good, as under President Trump, and then who are hurt by it the most when it comes driven by a Jimmy Carter or a Joe Biden. This is the ownership of what has to happen and to have voices speak about the difference. But when it comes to someone like Tim Scott, they clearly seem to be frightened by him. They are frightened by you because the single voice that steps up can make the huge difference. And we can point out what this means. Do you think that when it comes to certainly people on the left and people in Georgia, as an example, will they be convinced that people who are conservative, African Americans, others who are conservative, you're to be wary of them? I mean, how do you think this is being registered amongst other Americans, this rhetoric from the Democrats?
Well, let me tell you, Donald Trump had a good playbook. He said to the African American community, what do you have to lose? Where on the other hand, Joe Biden said to the African-American community, if you vote Republican, they're going to put you back in chains. Well, who was really switching and baiting? When I think about Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, I'm reminded of the Wizard of Oz. One has no brain, the other has no courage, and the other has no what? You know what I'm saying. And so when I also think about them, they're not being led by Dorothy and Toto. They're being led by what? The wicked witch of the South is who? Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams been paid and been hustled to keep blacks think that they're depressed, that they're victims. And when you look at it, let's look at what's really going on here. Who's funding this? The liberals, George Soros and others. They want black people to even think that they can't even afford an ID, although you need one for Joe Biden's COVID passport. You need one to check in the hotel. It's just crazy. I'm here tonight, I mentioned, with the Evans family, white, black, everybody here in Cartersville. They don't care about that. But the left is afraid that black people are thinking more independently now, and that they are saying, wait a minute, the Democratic Party has led us off a cliff.
Well, I was going to mention,
the black community.
Wherever we look, whether it's Los Angeles or San Francisco or Detroit or Baltimore, great American cities, New York, right, Atlanta, that things have not gotten better in the urban areas. Wherever the Democrats are in control, there is this status quo of misery. It is the 21st century. Everyone deserves better. This country will only get better when the lives of people on the margins and people of color, those of people who are minorities, get better. And the Democrats have convinced many people that there's only one place to go. I believe that with you, sir, and people like Donald Trump, who clearly is not going away, that we will make sure that we know that there's alternatives and an important way to move forward. Thank you, Vernon, for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Very important time. Thank you, sir.
Army. Please go to jonesforgeorgia.com.
There we go, jonesforgeorgia.com. Thank you, sir. Now, come